Welcome to Cooking with Andrea. We are going to be making a nice roast in our crock pot. So we're going to put it on now, and then we're going to make some really fresh green bean casserole, and then we're going to do some kind of like cubed roasted potato with some onion and parsley and parmesan. So I'm going to get started with my roast because this is going to cook for a good 8 hours. Might be a little bit less, but I actually have almost 4 pounds, and it's a beef top round roast. So I'm going to put lemon pepper. Oh, I don't know why I'm using the small side. We got to use the big side. You know me and my lemon pepper. I love my lemon pepper. And I'm putting a lot on. And I'm going to put it on both sides. Then I'm going to put some garlic powder. And boy, we are just going to cook and let all this just develop so much flavor. I can't wait. It's going to be so delicious. We're going to use onion powder. And then I'm going to take my parsley, though, and I'm going to put it at the bottom of my crock pot. Because if I put it on right now on my roast, it's going to fall off. But you know me, I'm a big parsley fan, so I have quite a bit of parsley there. And I just love the way parsley cooks on meat. I'm going to flip this because that was the fat side down. And that's how I'm going to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and put more lemon pepper on top. Garlic powder. And remember, season, season, season. That's your flavor. Just watch your salt content. But my only salt content right now is the lemon pepper. So we are good. With our roast, I'm going to do a red wine, mushroom, red onion gravy sauce is what I'm going to do. I was being creative there. It took a minute to get out of my head. But anyways, that's what we're going to be doing. But this I'm going to check this in, a good 6 hours. But I'm just going to let it cook. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to put it on high. Let's go high and timer. We're going to put it on for 10 hours. But in 6 hours, we'll check it because it'll need a good 8 to 10 hours for it to cook. So we'll be back when it's done. Welcome back. Okay, I have the green beans here. Already chopped most of them. We want about 4 cups, a little bit under. Now what I did is I took all the tips off, but I just wanted you to see about $1 or about 56 cents a pound. Some fresh green beans. So this is going to be for our green bean casserole. I'm just going to cut them. You want to cut them 2 and 3 times, depending on how big. I kind of keep them together. And have them be about the same size. They're never going to be the same size exactly. But that's what we want to do. Okay, so I've got some water and boiling here. I'm going to throw these in. These are going to have to boil for at least 35 minutes because you want them soft. When it's time for you to put the green beans in, all you really want to do is add your gorgeous other ingredients to your green beans. But your green beans will really pretty much be already cooked. These things are things that we put in our garden, and we feed our garden when it's not time for us to grow. So people who don't live where we live, where it's so cold, then just start putting your veggies in, or your little ends and things, your potato peels in your garden. Give it some downtime so you can start growing in a few months. If you live all year round where you got beautiful weather like we will stop growing. We live in High Sierra, so we will have snow and nothing will grow here. So for this green bean casserole, I'm going to have some crispy fried onions, about 1.25 cups. I'm going to have some black pepper, a can of mushroom, a 1/2 cup of milk, and some soy sauce. So we'll get back to that in a minute. When our green beans are done boiling, we'll come back as soon as they are, and we'll get them in our casserole dish. I part cooked some yellow potatoes because this is not the star of my dish. I should have made another something to go with it, but we are going to eat these for dinner. So I part boiled them. I put about 1, 2, 3. I'm going to put 3 tablespoons of butter in here. I put 2 already, and then I thought, oh, I better show you guys me putting just a little bit more. I'm just going to chop it up so we can get it all over. I do not know if I will use olive oil. Sometimes that's enough because they're already boiled already, pre-done. Not all the way though. I want to get the crisp from the onion because I'm sorry, from the oven. I have onion in my hand. I'm just going to sprinkle some onion because I'm going to have a yellow, like kind of baked roasted potato. That's what I'm going to have for tonight's dinner, along with my green bean casserole and our roast. So I'm going to put some Parmesan cheese like this on it. I love doing this with Brussels sprouts too. I usually use Parmesan like that. Then you can finish with Parmesan, fresh Parmesan if you'd like. But to cook it, I want to get some flavor in here, so I got quite a bit of onion powder. I don't want to take all the taste. I want to have some good flavor from the potato. I want to taste the potato. I'm a potato person, so I really love potatoes. So this is going to go in. It's been preheating on 400. It's going to go in at 400, cook on 400, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to let these wonderful beans boil until they're kind of tender. Then we'll take them out, and then we'll come back and we'll assemble the green bean casserole and pop it in the oven for about 20 minutes. I'm also going to start, just wanted to let you use, I'm going to use 4 mini mushrooms. I'm going to clean these real good. I'm going to use some garlic. I'm going to go initially cut 4 nice sized cloves of garlic, and I'm going to cut this red onion in half, and then I'm going to slice it though like a grilled onion effect, because I want this to go into my red wine gravy reduction. So anyways, we'll be back as soon as I get the potatoes done and the green beans done from boiling. Welcome back. Okay, wonderful. Green beans are done. I just drained them. I'm going to go ahead. Oh, I wanted to show you my cute little pan that or my little baking dish that I used for my green bean casserole every year. It was so cute. I wanted to learn how to make it, and I wasn't really into green beans, never have, really don't care for them. But boy, my family really loves this dish. And I've taken a bite. It's okay, but you know, I just don't like that vegetable. Maybe I have to grow it myself so I can like my vegetable. But it's so cute. My mom bought this for me for Christmas one year because I wanted to really be a connoisseur of cooking it, and it has all the directions in there and how to cook it, so you don't ever have to go look at a recipe book or anything like that. So this is a cute gift idea. I just thought I'd show everybody because I got it for Christmas one year, and ever since then I've been totally excited about it. And then I've also been excited about dishes that have words on them like snack or chips and things like that. I'm so funny when it comes to things like that. So basically, I had almost about 4 cups of green beans, a little bit under, but that's okay. Makes no difference. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to put the cream of mushroom soup in, and I'm just going to mix it around real fast, just to get it all nice and incorporated. This is what we do. Another reason why I'm making this today too is a person had asked me, the same person that asked me for a poultry dish other than turkey. They asked me if I knew a beef dish. I told them my filet mignon and my also my prime rib dish. And then they're like, how about a roast? And I go, oh yeah, there's several roasts. I actually like chuck roasts. I'm really funny like that. I actually like it because there's a little bit more fat than the roast I used today. The roast I used today was a beef top round roast, and it's boneless. It was almost 4 pounds, and it was $2.85 per pound. I got a really good deal on that top round roast. So all told, I spent $9.75 for all that meat. So that's why I chose this one, because I know you can find that one everywhere. You can find a chuck too, but I like that one. I'm going to add a little bit of pepper right now. Just shake it in there because my family likes pepper. I'm just going to give it a mix. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get our water. Our milk. It's a half a cup of milk. We're going to put it in. I'm going to take 1 teaspoon of soy. You know, I think these little crispy onions right here, I think these guys are really salty. but they're really delicious. So I'm only going to take my soy sauce that's less sodium, and I'm going to do 1 teaspoon. Just 1 teaspoon, because I don't want it to be over salty. Plus, like I said, there's some things I love lots of salt. Potato chips. That's when we need salt. That is so good. I'm going to mix that in there. Just give it a little mix. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the crispy onions, and I'm going to use a lot of them and put them in here. But I reserve some for the top too, because I like the crunch on the top. I think it's great, but it will give it a flavor. It will add more salt, and it'll be just fine. So basically, this is a very easy recipe, but it's a fresh green bean, so it's good. And I think it looks perfect. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to get in here in our oven for 25 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and show you my potatoes when I come back, and they're still cooking. I'm getting them all nice and toasty with the Parmesan cheese on top, and we'll be back. Welcome back. We're going to be making our gravy now. Everything is cooking in the oven. It's beautiful. We got about 10 minutes for everything to be done, the potatoes and the green beans. Okay, real fast, I want to show you the meat. It came out. I had cooled it. The reason I cooled it is I wanted to show you, this is how we're going to make our brown, red, or our red gravy, our red wine brown gravy is what we're going to do. So I took all the drippings and added a little bit of chicken stock with all the drippings, and this is what we got out of it. This is actually fantastic. This is like when you open the can from the store, how you have a little bit of fat on top. That's what you want for that flavor. Okay, so we got all our vegetables. I'm going to turn my pan on, hot pot. Okay, hot pot. I'm going to drop the heat down to, because mine's at 490, I'm going to drop it to 212. I'm going to put in 1 tablespoon of butter. I'm going to go ahead and get my onions and mushrooms in there, and I have garlic. Okay, I took out 4 mushrooms, I took out 4 garlic pieces, I used 3 of them, but I wanted to give you a little bit more accurate for the garlic. It comes to a heaping tablespoon of really fine chopped garlic. I'm not going to use all 4 mushrooms. Look at how many of those big beautiful creminis it made. So what I'm going to do is use like 2.5, and I'm going to go ahead and put this one back in the refrigerator because I don't need all those mushrooms. Used a little bit less than 1/2 of red onion, sliced it real thin. I have to slice it that way because you know, guys, I don't like the texture of the onion. I like the onion, but I don't like the texture. Okay, so I'm going to drop my onions in first. Put my garlic down here so I don't drop everything on the floor. Good Lord, I tell you, it could be one of those days. I could see me doing something like that. Holy Toledo. So I'm just going to let these start cooking. The onions start cooking. And then what I'm going to do, as soon as the onions start cooking, I'm going to go ahead and drop the mushrooms. And we're going to get these just to be able to flavor our dish. And it's going to look nice. And it adds another texture to the meat. It's going to be delicious. And it's actually really inexpensive way to have a dinner. You know, like I said, $10. I've got quite a bit of meat. I've got almost 4 pounds of meat over there. Now, you know, when you cook meat, it shrinks, but the crock pot makes it not shrink as bad, I think, sometimes. But you know what that is. We'll just go with it. We have no choice. It's going to shrink. Okay, so for my gravy, these are my vegetables, the onion, the garlic, the mushroom. Then we're going to do a 1/3 cup of dark red wine. We're going to do it's just a teeny bit over 2 cups of beef broth. And the reason is because I have all the drippings that I cooked the meat in. All the garlic, the onion powder, the parsley, everything. There's a few little pieces of meat in there. It's going to be delicious. Everything in the oven is cooking so mighty fine. The only thing I did, which you'll see it when it comes out, is I went in and I put more pepper on top of our green bean casserole because that's the way we like it. So these are going to cook up for a minute. And then I'm going to go ahead and put these extra mushrooms in the refrigerator. I don't want to waste anything. but that's too many for my gravy. If it were a dish, I'd use them all. But man, these things are big and beautiful. We don't need that many, so just use 2, which is good, because if you go to the store, you only have to buy a few. You don't have to pay for the whole basket, which is something that I like. I always adjust my mushroom because, you know, there's certain things we like mushrooms in, and then we don't really eat them. One day I'm going to learn how to, I mean, we don't grow them. Mushrooms are, I guess they're grown, but I mean, I was reading on them. They're done like strawberries where they hang up. I don't know what the correct term is, but I want to do something with mushrooms, learn how to do something with mushrooms. One day I will learn. Okay. Now here we have to be careful because we don't want anything to burn. So I either have to drop my heat a little bit, which I think I'm going to do to 140 real fast, because I don't want anything to burn. And then I may have to add a half teaspoon or tablespoon of butter more. Or I don't really want to put olive oil in today, but I just want to get these cooking up because I want you to see. I didn't have to spend a lot of time showing you guys about the meat because it sits in a crock pot. Potatoes were easy. Not only that, potatoes are my side dish, and anytime I can eat a potato, and like I said, what we cook on Channel Day is what we eat. So that's what we're eating. Gave me one more excuse to get a nice potato. And I've been being good, watching my potatoes, my triglycerides. But man, when I can sneak a potato in, I'm going to sneak it in. So we're good there. Everything's cooking. The key to this gravy is don't cook it really on high. You want to kind of let everything kind of caramelize. Let everything come out of the mushroom, the onion, and with the butter, and just flavor that way and cook that way. It'll taste better. More developed taste in your gravy. I'm going to go ahead and drop my garlic too. As if this is where I need to add more butter, I can. And I'll make sure, because I let my pan drop a little bit in heat. Okay, so we're good there. But I'm glad that I could make something like this before, especially because somebody requested it. Makes me feel real happy that I can help somebody with a dish. I love watching other people that I watch, because sometimes, boy, I sure learn some things. And it's so interesting. You think, oh my gosh, I've been cooking all these years and I didn't know that. It's interesting what you can learn, or a different way you can do it and go, hey, that does work really good. So I'm kind of excited to be doing things like that too as well. And I just enjoy cooking, so that's great. Okay, I'm going to turn my pan up just a little bit more to 212 again. I like the way it cooks better. I need them to cook a little bit faster than that. Half that tablespoon of butter I was telling you I might use. I have the other half reserved because I don't want my gravy to be greasy. And because I have natural juices from the meat, so I don't want anything to be over greasy. Butter gives it a silky texture. So we're just going to let this cook right here. I'm going to start pulling a couple things out of the oven real fast because I just want to give you an idea. Technically, my green beans are done. So I'm going to take and pull them. And technically, my potatoes are going to be done as well. So I want to show you how they're going to look. Oh man, the green bean casserole looks absolutely delicious. I am not going to stir it or anything. I'm just going to leave it like that. Let me grab the potatoes. Oh my gosh. The potatoes look absolutely excellent. You see all that beautiful Parmesan crust. There's bottom at the bottom of it, butter at the bottom. A little tongue-tied today. But everything's nice and crunchy. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to take a poke. Oh, everything is perfect. And you know, when stuff is in the oven, you know how it gets that little bit of texture on top, where it makes the potato and the skin of the potato just a little bit tough. It's beautiful. So when we bite into it, it won't be mushy. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put these right over here. And I'm going to turn my oven off. I'm going to keep everything nice and warm in there because as soon as I get this gravy done and slice this meat, then what we'll do is we'll come back and we will plate our dish. And this is going to be a roast beef holiday dish, or it's a good roast beef dish on the weekend. Good Sunday dinner, in my opinion. That's what I like. It's the best way to say it. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is check this. These bits are good. My veggies are nice and tender. We don't want them too tender because we don't want them to be mushy. Okay, so everything looks good. I'm just going to clean that up just a little bit like that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop my butter in. It's 2 tablespoons of butter. I'm going to start making my roux, and we are going to be good to go. So there's 2 tablespoons of butter, and then we're going to put 2 tablespoons of all-purpose white flour. And we're just going to start mixing it up because this is what's going to thicken my gravy. Okay, but we got to keep stirring so nothing gets burnt. We don't want anything burnt. And then what I'm going to do is just get it in here, mix it up a little bit, and then I'm going to add my wine. My red wine. And if you don't want to use red wine, you don't have to, because you know, like sometimes, you know, I'm trying to learn how to cook with things like that. See, about textures. What turned me on to that was chicken marsala. I couldn't believe, and you know, because I don't drink, I don't know any of those things. I went to a friend's home and we had it, and oh my gosh, it was gorgeous. And boy, that liquid really makes the dish. So this is why I'm all interested in this, because you can make different flavors. When I started making red wine gravy, it's good because, you know, we're meat and taters kind of people. We like gravy. So I used to make a lot of it. Okay, I'm going to add my wine, and this is going to go ahead and take all my bits and cook out the wine taste, where it's just going to drop this little hint, and it's going to go like that. And then what I'm going to do is clean all the bits off here, and now I'm going to put my my beef stock in. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this slowly. Let me change hands. I'm backwards today. I'm going to go ahead and drop in my broth a little bit at a time though, because I don't want to clump my gravy. That's what I'm trying not to do, is make lumps in gravy. But I tell you, with this kind of gravy, if you made a lump, oops, let me not spill. If you made a lump, nobody'd be able to tell. So it's a good way to practice. So I say try it, because you'll always have lumps in your gravy until you practice. Either that, or if you don't want to make this kind of gravy, then just make a packaged gravy. But like I said, you don't have to use the alcohol. Just use beef stock. So we're good. The danger is over. We're not going to have any clumps. But look at all that goodness in there. That's from my actual meat that I cooked. Nothing went to waste. I didn't have enough fat because it was a top round. Didn't have enough fat on it to keep my meat fat and reuse it for something else. There was really no fat on this meat, which is good. But boy, I should got to keep, or I used that for gravy. But otherwise, I would have kept the meat jelly. I call it meat jelly is what I call it. Now I put my heat up higher because now I'm going to watch it, and I'm just going to keep stirring because I don't want my gravy to burn, and I also want it to get thicker. So what I'm going to do, so it doesn't just clump to the bottom, and your vegetables are supposed to look like that, your onion is supposed to look like that. You want to get it all nice and soft. You don't want anything to be thick either. Like my mushrooms were cut real thin, garlic was cut real thin, because it's basically like adding toppers to your steak is what we're doing today, and adding a lot of flavor, because I haven't even tried it yet. I know it definitely needs no salt because of me cooking or using the meat juice and the meat jelly basically. And basically, I call it meat jelly. I didn't know what to call it because it coagulates like jelly in my refrigerator. So I call it meat jelly. But basically, all it is your drippings and the meat juice. and I just take them and I save them and use them because I develop broths that just taste absolutely excellent. Broth sometimes is very expensive. So I'm going to give this a little taste. I'm going to go like this. Oh, man, that is absolutely excellent. I want you guys to try this broth, making your own gravy, red gravy reduction, because that is absolutely excellent. I haven't tasted a gravy that tasted that good in a very long time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get my counter cleaned up. I'm going to get my meat sliced so you can see, and then I'm going to bring everything back so we can plate. But I want you to try this. This is absolutely delicious. We'll be back. Welcome back. Okay, we got all the goodness out of the oven. Okay, so I'm going to stir our wonderful green bean casserole. Then what I'm going to do, oh, this little sucker is hot. Holy Toledo. Then what I'll do is I'm going to wait and pepper it one more time. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to sprinkle some of the crispies on, the crispy onions, so we get a crunch element. Because we don't want everything to be one-dimensional. That's why I made the potatoes this way, so there would be a little bit of pull and crisp to them. Okay, so the roast came out really good. Came out super nice. Slice it. Look at this. Looks absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to try a piece. It's cold. So soft. Really tender. Crock pot is the way to go when we're making roast. Okay, so I did a little trick. I put my gravy back on the heat, and what I did is I put it on, my ladling spoon here, and then I dipped it in the gravy to reheat my meat. Because a lot of times, because I do use the meat juice and so forth, I do cool my meat, unless it's a steak. And then, we eat our steaks right away, just like that. So good. The meat is so good. I was still chewing. I took too big of a piece, so I crack myself up sometimes. I'm like, oh, looks good. Let's try it. So what I'm going to do is put some potato on the plate. You want the potatoes to be nice and crunchy and just delicious. The crisp on the potato is parmesan and onion powder. So I'm going to take another piece off. I'm all picky because I'll be eating this one. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to leave that one off because I want to showcase the crunchies. Make sure you just turn your plate. The more you turn your potato in your pan, the more crunchy you will get. So that's all it is. Okay, so this is my beautiful meat. It has all the mushrooms, onions, and gravy. Okay, so we all know I don't like onions like that. That's why I make them the dimension that I make them. Because, see, I can pick out the onion, I can see it, so it doesn't offend me. So that's why I do it that way. Not only that, I can skim the top for my own plate, and I'll be fine. So basically what I did is, this is a good little trick. Just to rewarm your meat, so you don't have to get all fancy, you can either drop your meat in this gravy, because this gravy is not overly thick, and it's not just a gravy. It's a red wine reduction kind of gravy. I'm not sure if I'm saying that totally right, but because this gravy is so hot, all I do is take the meat and place it in there, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to layer it. It's totally hot enough, and it's going to be just fantastic. But because I don't want a lot of gravy over everything, it should be that we treat the meat the way we treat the meat, and we should not have to douse it in gravy. Your meat should be good where you want to taste your meat, you want to taste your potato, you want to taste your green bean casserole. So this is another quick way to make a dinner for Thanksgiving coming up, Christmas, or Sunday dinners, or during the week if you have the time, because the crock pot is what makes everything easy. You're not standing here or at the grill. You're letting everything cook while you sleep, and then you have dinner the next day. Make sure you cool your meat. Then you can use your meat juice, your meat jelly. You can take this and use it for so many more things. This cut up stuff will feed my family tonight. This little nice hunk of meat, I'm leaving it this way because I'm going to go put it on my food slicer, because I actually have a slicer, and I'm making fresh roast beef sandwiches for lunches sometime this week. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try. I want to get a little bit of potato. Absolutely excellent. Let me grab a little bit of meat. So delicious. Now, you guys know I do not like green beans, so I'm not even going to try and fake anything, because I always tell you guys I can't tell a food lie, so I can't tell a food lie. I'm like super picky. So what I did is green bean casserole, potato, and your meat. I hope you enjoy this meal. It's a really pretty inexpensive dish. Potatoes were inexpensive. Green beans 56 cents. I think the onions cost me more than the green bean and the soup together. Meat was a good price, under $10 for almost 4 pounds. So if you like the content, if you would please like and subscribe and share, I'd be most grateful. And thank you all subscribers. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for the support. I always say this is my happy time, my therapy time. So let me thank you for being able to come in and share with you. Well, I will see you guys next time. Thank you very much and have a blessed week.